flavor bomb waiting to happen, and right there you'll get that medium rare. I prefer to put the onion. The only way to make a New York strip, a little bit of avocado oil, that's salt, pepper, and paprika mixed together that I'm going to season it with. Got the charcoal chimney going, and I'm going to my
It's a toughie. Yo, yo. How am I going to do this? Maybe that works. A little bit tilted. Meh. 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 Yeah, sec here, guys. The time sucks all over me. All over me. Oh. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Here's the deal. Again, I just got home. Time sucks. Absolutely killed me. Some of the things that I did get to see that I want to talk about. Terry Crews, the comedian, actor, made some comments regarding Black Lives Matters. I want to talk about that. Ozark, I want to talk about that. Jeff Bezos, I want to talk about him. I want to talk about time sucks. I got a mouse problem. I need to talk about the mouse problem. And Major League Baseball, I need to talk about that. So we're going to get to all that stuff on what's up, Shane, on the podcast today. And I think that we can get back with my TikTok peeps today as well. So let's get this puppy started. I'm trying to level. Hold on. I think that works much better. All right, we can go live here. We're about to go live here. Let's do it. Thank you so much for joining my podcast. And thank you to the new followers of my podcast. Seems like every day I gain new followers or subscribers. So thank you for subscribing to Spazzing Out. If you haven't subscribed to my podcast yet, please do. Even if you follow me and watch me on my live stream, when I do the podcast, I go live on Facebook and on TikTok. If you're on TikTok or Facebook and you haven't subscribed to my podcast, please do it. Here's how you can do it. Go to anthonypaziali.com and there is a list of podcast links for platforms. You can get it on Apple Podcasts. You can get it on Spotify, Google Podcasts. Please subscribe to the podcast, even if you're just listening to me or watching me while I do my live stream, which I do on TikTok and on Facebook 5 nights a week at 6:30, Sunday through Thursday. I just got home. As you guys know, the podcast is not my full-time job yet. Someday it will be. Right now, it's my side hustle. I have a real job. I run a business called Take Junk. It's a junk removal company, and it takes up a lot of my time. I get up early. I work all day. I would have been home a half hour ago if it wasn't for the time sucks. I had today's time suck. So what is a time suck? A time suck is a person or people or things that suck up your time and they screw you over. They mess up your timing. They steal your time. They're thieves. Time sucks are thieves. They're dirty, rotten thieves that steal your time and you can never get it back. So if you steal my time, you're a time suck. Today, the time sucks screwed me by a half hour I was screwed out of a half hour of time. I would have been home a half hour earlier. I would have picked up my daughter a half hour earlier, and I would have had a half hour to work on the podcast. But the time sucks decided that they didn't want to work for a half hour while I was driving to the dump. So instead of getting stuff out of the basement, the time sucks hung out and didn't take the stuff out of the basement. And then when I got there, I said, "Oh, is the stuff out of the basement?" "Oh, no, the stuff's not out of the basement." "So what were you guys doing while I was at the dump?" They didn't have to answer because they both were like, oh, we're sorry. And I'm like, "Oh, great." And then I timed how long it took to get the stuff out of the basement. It was actually 35 minutes. So it threw the day off by 35 minutes. Therefore, I would have been home 35 minutes ago to do my podcast. Hence, time sucks. We all have time sucks in our life. I will bitch. Dude, it's spilt milk all day long. What's spilt milk? I say it every time so everybody knows. Spilt milk is something that happens in your life that makes everything else not matter. So, for example, today I was upset that somebody, that these mutants desecrated a George Washington statue. I love George Washington. The guy's the Bruce Lee's greatest American of all time. I have much respect for this man. Read many books on him, watched many documentaries on him. Love him. I was pissed off about it. But you know what pissed me off even more? The time sucks. It took my mind off of George Washington because all we really care about is ourselves. That's spilt milk. Spilt milk is, I got other problems that are more important to me than George Washington. I have other problems that are more important to me than Black Lives Matters. I got problems of my own. That's spilt milk. And today's spilt milk is time sucks. It was yesterday's too. I can't stand time sucks. Stop sucking my time. Stop drinking up my precious seconds. When you're just chilling and doing nothing, you're screwing me over out of a half hour of my life where I could be home doing show prep for a program that I'm trying to build, an audience that I want to entertain. I want to have an educated conversation with my friends on Facebook, with my TikTok peeps, and with those that listen to my podcast on a daily basis. And a lot of people do listen now. Over 1,000 subscribers on my podcast. We started out with none. And these people want entertaining conversation. They don't want nothing. They don't want, oh, well, we didn't get to cover anything today because the time sucks. Thought that they would hang out for a fucking half hour while I went to the dump instead of getting the stuff out of the basement, and then I had to pull the stuff out of the basement. I'm done with time sucks. Don't suck my time. Simple. I got stuff to do. I'm a busy dude. I have a lot going on. Every single part of my day is calculated. It screwed me over. I had to come home and I had to walk the dogs, and the dog upstairs, the dead dog, Betty, she's a time suck. The dog moves like five, she looks like Skeletor, moves like five, like forget it. She might as well be moving backwards. It's time for her to go. I don't know when the appropriate time is to kill a dog and get rid of it, so I'm not going to make the call. My family can make the call, but it's time for her to go because she's now become a time suck. She sucks my time when she has to go out and go to the bathroom and take a poop. I have to stand there forever. And then the other dog, you got to walk it around the block for 45 minutes until it actually goes poop. I have no time for that. And this is how it messes up my whole day. I get home a half hour later because the time sucks screw me instead of getting stuff out of the basement. Then I have to rush to walk the dogs. And then my wife gets home and this beautiful woman, she went food shopping. She had all the groceries in the car. I brought them in. Well, no, actually I didn't bring them in. She brought them in. I moved them from the living room. Oh man, that's a huge pet peeve of mine. We'll have to get to that. I moved them from the living room to the kitchen, but then I was like, I gotta go. I gotta take a shower and I have to go do my podcast. And I got that look. You know the look? You know the look, bro. You ever see, this is the look I got. You guys will all know Rudolph, right? Every time I know I'm in trouble, she's like the head elf. Herbie wants to be a dentist. That's how I feel when I get in trouble. Literally, the look is like, hey everyone, Herbie wants to be a dentist. We make toys. He doesn't want to make toys. He wants to be a dentist. You know what I'm talking about. Forget it, man. Fucking head elf comes out. Herbie wants to be a dentist. I'm dead. All because of time sucks. I get Herbie all the time because of the time sucks in my life. So I felt bad because I wanted to help her, but I had to get down here to start the podcast, and I feel bad. She works hard. She's great. I wanted to help her unload the groceries, but because of the time sucks, I got home late. No show prep. Walked the dogs. The dogs are decrepit. The thing needs honestly, Betty, it's time for Betty. I call her Daddy Betty. Daddy Betty needs to go. Scout's got a few years left in them, but their time sucks. So therefore, I didn't have time to help my wife with the groceries, and now I'm dead to her because she's mad at me. So I'm stuck in Herbie land. Herbie wants to be a dentist. He doesn't want to make the bro. I hate it. Hogan face comes out. Forget it. She's mad at me, and it's not even my fault. And I love her, and I feel bad. I should have started the podcast late and helped her with the groceries. Honestly, I should have. I'm sorry. I feel bad. Kaylee works so hard, and then she's got to come home, and she's got to deal with my crap because I have spilt milk, and I don't care about her spilt milk. I'm like, oh, I got my spilt milk. I need to do the podcast. I should have helped her. Honey, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I should have taken a second to help you with the groceries. But since we brought up groceries, a huge pet peeve of mine with bringing in the groceries, take them all the way to the kitchen. I can't stand when you take the groceries and you take it out of the car and you bring it into the living room. If you already brought it up the stairs and into the house, all the way into the kitchen with it. It's like 10 more feet. Into the kitchen with it. My son does it. My daughter will probably. Everybody does it. You know what? The entire country here in the United States of America, you all drop the groceries in the living room and then you touch them. You double touch. There's no double touching, man. You go boom. You put your hands on it. You don't put it down till you get into the kitchen. I don't like double touching stuff. It's the same thing with junk removal. I take something out of the basement. It doesn't hit the ground. The next time I put that thing down, it's on the back of my truck. I hate double touching. I don't double touch. Ever. I can't stand that with the groceries. You grab it out of the car, walk it into the kitchen. Walk it all the way to its final resting place. It's more work to friggin' carry them up the stairs, drop them in the living room. Carry them up, boom, right into the kitchen. Go back outside. Grab some more. And then, you know what? The other thing I hate? So un-American. You should be able to bring everything in. All of it. You should be all one. Bro, I'm the master. I'll have like 50 bags of groceries. Like, and I'll tell someone, put the water on my shoulders. I got them all, bro. Up the stairs, 50 bags, 2 waters on either side of my shoulders, squinching my head, trying to keep them level. Get the door. Get the door. Get the door. Get the door. I said get the door. Get the door. Get the door. You know what I'm talking about. Literally. The things in everyday life, they just drive me nuts. Time sucks. People that are time sucks drive me absolutely nuts. It drives me bonkers. And I'm telling you, luckily, right now, traffic isn't bad here in Massachusetts. But if it were, forget it. Because that half-hour swing, I still wouldn't be home right now. Timing is everything. Don't time suck me. Next thing is, I already said it messed everything up. The time suck messed everything up today, and I apologize to the people who listen to my program because I want to put something good together every day for you guys, and I've been promising this now for 3 days, and 3 days straight I have failed to put something great together because I have time sucks in my life, and I'm sorry. But honestly, the truth of the matter is today I got time sucked, and I should have actually just started the podcast late, and I should have helped Kaylee out. I should have helped her unload the groceries. So if she's listening, honey, honestly, I'm sorry about that, but I had to get down here and take care of the podcast. I got other, listen, we have other things to talk about. I don't even know if I want to go there. Oh, mice. All right, so another thing that we need to talk about before we get to some of the stories. I have a mouse problem. I don't know how you would say it. Mouse. I got a lot. We found a lot of mice turds underneath the sink. We found some down here in the basement. What is the best? I'm asking for advice, and I will come back and check the comments out later to try to figure out what the best way to get rid of mice are. Right now, I currently have the poison, and I have some of those sticky things. We have some of the sticky things, and we have some of those traps where they eat the poison and they hopefully die. We're trying to figure out the best way to get rid of these mice. So this isn't going to be a discussion on it. I want your advice as to how to best get rid of mice. Like I said, we bought the sticky things. We bought, there's Kaylee now. Hi, hon.
Hey.
Hon, did you just hear me apologize for not helping you with the groceries?
No.
Kaylee's here, everybody. What, honey?
But I'll hear it again.
You're gonna guys. Kaylee just walked down, and I just what someone help me out here. What I just said was, I should have started the podcast late, and I should have helped out Kaylee, and I'm sorry that I didn't, honey. I should have. I apologize. Would you like to have anything to say to the listeners of the program? What are we having for dinner?
Whatever you want, right?
Can we have tacos?
We can have tacos.
Did you get
Because you bought me Chinese the other night.
Did you get me soft tacos, or did you just get hot tacos? You kidding? You didn't buy the tortillas? Come on, that's not even. Nah, she bought them. Did you buy them?
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's another. Not.
That's another one of my pet. All right, sorry we messed up the podcast there for a second. Mice. I need to know how to get rid of mice. Second thing, we're having it's Taco Tuesday. We're having tacos, and my wife knows it's a huge violation not to buy soft tacos. I'll go absolutely bonkers. I don't like hard tacos. You have to have it. It has to be soft. Nobody can eat a hard crunch taco. You just can't. It gets you bite into it. The thing goes everywhere. It's disgusting. We talked about this on the show before, and you know how I feel. If I buy it, if I'm the buyer, I want my jelly. I want my peanut butter. I want my tacos with soft taco. I want my orange. I want my red cap milk. Because I'm a man. That's how that works. She's probably standing there right now being like, this guy sounds like a douche. Anyways, if I'm gonna get the Herbie wants to be a dentist type crap, at the least I can get is a soft taco. Thank you. Hit me up with the mice advice, and then we'll move on from that. What should we talk about? All right, Ozark. If you're not watching, or if you haven't watched Ozark, it's 3 seasons deep. You have to watch it. It's probably the best. Not, you know what? It's not probably. It is the best television show on right now, or currently still live. Game of Thrones is my favorite TV show of all time. Sopranos might be my second. Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Ozark is in there for me. I love this show. It's really good. But of course, I don't know shit about fuck, so I don't know if it's a good show or not. I just think it's great. They're going to have a season 4, but it's going to be the final season. It's going to be 14 episodes, but they're going to be released 7 at a time. So they're going to release 7, and a little bit later they're going to release the other 7 sometime next year. There's your Ozark update. If I could recommend any TV show for you, that is the one. And I don't like to recommend stuff like that because I can't stand people that I will recommend something and then you'll watch it and then you'll tell me that it sucked. And it's like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. So I don't recommend. I also don't recommend, speaking of recommending, I don't recommend anything to people. And like when it comes to like, someone says, oh, do you know a good tile guy? Nope, absolutely not. I don't know a good tile guy. My cousin Al is a plumber. You know a good plumber? Nope, I don't know any good plumbers. You know why I don't recommend? Because when the guy goes in and does a bad job and he doesn't do the job he's supposed to do, you call me and you're like, oh, you sent me your cousin. Like it's my fault that he messed up. Oh, you sent me that tile guy. I don't want to hear it, so I don't recommend. Period. I don't care who it is. Someone come out, I don't even recommend Take Junk. Someone comes to me, who should we use for junk removal? 1-800-GET-JUNK. Don't use Take Junk. Beat it. I don't recommend nada. I'll tell you what to do. You want me to tell you what to do? I'll tell you what to do. Call 3 contractors, have them come over. You waste their time. You won't waste my time because I will not come to your house for a quote. Ain't happening. You can waste their time, and then you can pick one. They're still going to suck because most contractors, although are hardworking guys, when it gets to the end of the project and they need to get that shit done, they start rushing, and then shit gets messed up. It always does. I don't care. I don't care if you're the best contractor on the planet, bro. I don't care. And you might be the best on the planet, but you know when the job has been going too long and you start rushing and you start cutting corners, always happens. And don't tell me that it doesn't because, bro, I flipped over fucking 30 houses and I know what happens and I know that at the end of the project, you guys have to start doing shoddy crap. I don't want to hear that you don't. You're good guys. I'm not saying you're bad guys. Okay? I do the same thing. And you get a little tired at the end of the job, you start loading the truck a little bit less as good as you would like to do it. Maybe you're not tacking it up as much as you want. I get it. Not ripping on you guys. Just saying that the quality of work is way better at the beginning of the project than it is towards the end of the project. It's almost like, you know, it looks good for my house. That's what I used to say when I did foundations. Looks good for my house. I don't know what happened to Yo Gabba Gabba. Someone asked me what happened to my Yo Gabba Gabba shirt. Bro, it got stolen. I don't know. Probably those time sucks came into my house. Not only are they stealing my time, they're stealing my t-shirts. All right, so check out, the whole point of that is check out Ozark. It's good. You guys will like it. Moving on. What should we talk about next? You know what? While we're on TV, we might as well get to Terry Crews. Terry Crews, actor, comedian, Brooklyn 911, I think was like the last thing he was on. He might be on other stuff. I have no idea. He recently, today, or maybe yesterday, he tweeted something about Black Lives Matters. Obviously, he supports the movement, but he tweeted something to, I'm going to paraphrase, something to the effect of, the Black Lives Matter movement is great, but let's not make it hashtag Black Lives Better. People got all pissed off at him. They want to cancel Terry Crews now. People are upset with Terry Crews. They'd like to cancel him in any TV show that he's on and get rid of his endorsements and all that stuff. What he was trying to say, and I applaud him for saying it, was, yes, Black lives do matter, and we need equality for everyone, but we don't need to be better than everyone. They're taking it as, oh, he doesn't want to better Black lives. No, morons. What he's trying to tell you, mutants, is that he doesn't want what happens in every single uprising. Anytime a people believe that they are oppressed, and they start to rally up and they start to try to make a change, they claim that they just want to be equal. What happens when they become equal is then they try to get more. Once you get a little bit of power, you try to become more equal. It's plain and simple. We all read the book when we were in high school, Animal Farm. The animals on the farm felt like they were being mistreated by the humans. The animals on the farm no longer accepted the fact that they were going to be the workhorses and the fruits of their labor, and they were going to be treated like animals, and the farmers were going to benefit for everything, so they overthrow the farm. After they overthrow the farm, they talk about how everything's going to be equal. One of their things is all animals are equal. They have 7 rules. There's a whole bunch of them. I don't know them off the top of my head. No animal shall sleep in a bed. 4 legs are better than 2 legs. Which is, you have 4 legs. Human has you get it? No animal shall sleep in a bed. No animal shall drink alcohol. No animal, it goes on. And then slowly as the book goes on, the animals, things start to change, right? The pigs, the pigs are the ones that led the overthrow, but now the pigs, Napoleon, because they kill off Snowball, Napoleon starts to like the power. So then all of a sudden it's only pigs can drink. Then all of a sudden only pigs can sleep in the bed. Then all of a sudden the rule changed to all animals are equal, some are just more equal. And then before the end of the book, all of a sudden the pigs who were oppressed and started the uprising morph into the humans and become the oppressors. Do you get what I'm going? Read the book and you'll understand that most likely in all 90% of all uprisings, the people that have the uprising become the oppressor. Not like here in the United States, George Washington, the greatest, the best, the man that walked away from power, the man that could have been king, could have turned himself into an oppressor, went home and worked his farm, and then got begged to come back to be the president of a government for the people. He gave it back to the people, bounced out, and was like, I'm good. I won the war. You guys can have the power. I'm out of here. All Terry Crews was saying is, yes, we need to get equal, but we don't need to become the oppressor. We need to get equal, but we don't have to enslave white people, I guess, for lack of a better word. Or other people. We don't have to become the farmer. The pigs on the farm don't have to become the farmer, just become equal. That's all he was saying. And now you guys are shredding him and you're ripping him because he's trying to make a point. We just want to be equal. We want to feel like we are equal. We don't want to be better. And that's it. And you're shredding the guy for it. And he has a good point, because if you check your history, but I know you don't, because a lot of the people, and I'm not just, please, if you say that I'm talking about black people, I'm not. Anybody, whites, Mexicans, blacks, I don't care. The people that are desecrating statues, you are the people that are not paying attention to history and don't realize that the statues, some of them that you're vandalizing, are people that actually helped the Black Lives Matter movement before it was the Black Lives Matter movement. He's just trying to tell you we want to be equal, but we don't want to be the oppressor. We want to just be on an even playing field. That's all this dude was saying, and now you want to cancel him. It's garbage. I don't understand where you people get your mutants. That's all I can say. It's absolute. You're a bunch of squids when you start getting mad at a guy like Terry Crews, who's just merely trying to say, yes, this is a good movement. Once we get and feel like we are equal, we don't need to be more equal. We don't need to be better. We don't need to become the oppressor. Let's not become the bad guy. Let's just be even. Simple. Let's be even. That's all I'm trying to say. Read Animal Farm. Pretty simple. Animal Farm's a great book for 2 reasons. 1, it'll teach you straight up why socialism doesn't work. 2, it'll also teach you straight up that 90% of the time when someone overthrows a government, they become like that government or worse than the government. They get power hungry. They take it to the next level. That's all that book's about. It's phenomenal. They're probably going to ban that in high school too, if they haven't already. So I applaud Terry Crews for standing up saying, we want to be equal. Some dude just chucked me some candy. Thanks, bro. Endeavor, I think it is. So we just want to be equal. That's it. That's what he's trying to get at. And when he says we don't want to be better, he's saying we don't want to be more equal. He's not saying we don't want to better black lives. Simple. The more we get into it, the more we talk about it. I was reading this thing about I don't even know who the guy was, but they were writing back then that, so listen, when emancipation happened, there was a General Grant that then became president, had to oversee the freed people to assimilate into the states. Okay? They had to figure out a way to bring in 3+ million people into citizenship and how to get them educated up, how to get them into the American culture, and how to get them to these people to have a good, free life. And Grant fought for that, and he fought off the KKK. And then at what they called it at the time was special favors by laws. So at the time, African Americans had special favors by laws, and they still have some. And so don't Native Americans. So don't single moms. So there are a lot of people that get things that white men don't get. And I'm not sitting here like trying to be like I deserve it. I don't. I'm happy with what I got, man. I worked my ass off for everything I got. I don't need a hand up. I'm not asking for one, and I'm not saying I should get one. What I'm saying is, and then in the same thing, he also wrote that at some point, the specialties need to go away and truly make everybody equal. At some point in this country, the specialties that a race like Native Americans, African Americans, or single moms, and I bring up single moms because single moms, I love single moms, but you do get a little bit more special treatment than the guys. You just do. And if you say you don't, you're full of crap. That the specialties will go away as people become equal. At what point do we become equal? I don't know. It's pretty apparent right now in the United States that things are not equal in a lot of people's eyes, and we need to work as a country. I've been saying this for a while now. One people, one nation, united, equal, and equal. So we need to work on that, but we don't want people to be better. We don't want to put people in a position where they have one up on you. I don't want to be in a position where I work my ass off and I should be the candidate, but the law says, oh, you know what? We got to give the woman this job. If she's better than me, fine, she gets the job. But if I'm better than her, she shouldn't get the job because the law says so. That's not equality. That's garbage. That's no one should get a job over me if I'm the best candidate. I don't care. You want to talk about being equal? Let's talk about being equal. I want equal rights for myself. If I work hard, I should get the job if I'm the better candidate. If I'm not the better candidate, I shouldn't get the job. It's like picking the vice president of the United States, Joe Biden. this guy's stuck in a jam. He most definitely has to pick an African-American woman, and he has no choice otherwise, because if he picks anybody otherwise, done. He'll get dusted. He can't pick the best person for the job, or who he believes the best person for the job is. He may believe that an African-American woman on his list is the best person for the job, but he may believe that it's not. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have a choice. The people have spoken. The Black Lives Matter people, his people, as Joe Biden would say it, they're going to pigeonhole him. In this country, it's unfortunate that the best of the best don't get the job. I might not get a job because I'm white. I might be the best, but I may not get the job. And then what I will get told is, well, these people, Native Americans, they get casinos because we killed them off, so you can't have a casino. Well, these people here, they were enslaved, so they get one up on you. And then I would say, yeah, well, guess what? My family's from Italy. We didn't kill any Native Americans. And my family's from Italy, and we didn't have any slaves. So I'm a white, second born here in the United States of America, where my father told me that things were equal, and I have just as much right to this job as a black guy, as a Native American, as a woman, or as an Asian. And if I'm the best candidate for the job, I should get it. I shouldn't get overlooked because this guy over here decided to cut his penis off, and now he's a chick. I shouldn't get overlooked for that. If the guy who cut his penis off is now a chick, is better than me, sure, you get the job. If the woman's better than me, sure, she gets the job. If the African American's better than me, sure, he gets the job. If the Native American's better than me, great, give him the job. But if I'm the best candidate, I better get the job. And if I don't, I'm telling you, I'm going to start suing people. I will start suing to protect my rights. I will start suing the United States government to protect my own rights as a white male that currently believes that white 40-year-old men are the most oppressed people in this country. We can't do anything anymore. Here's something I won't do. I will never, ever, ever be in a room alone with a woman or an African American for fear that they will leave the room and I will be and it's their word against mine. This lady could say, oh, he did this, I'm done. The black guy could say, oh, he did this, and I'm done. They'll never take my word for it. I'm a good guy. And I'm scared to be alone with, I am. I don't even care. I don't care if people don't listen to my podcast because they think that I'm not afraid to admit that I'm not a racist. I'm not afraid. I'm not, because I'm not a racist, and I'm also not afraid to admit that some of this stuff is BS. If I'm alone with an African-American dude, and he walks out and says that Anthony Pazziali said this, I'm toast, because you'll all believe him over me. Even though my track record says that I'm a good guy, still, done. I'll walk out to be like, oh, 40, white, let's burn his ass. They'll be out in front of my house with guillotines like they are out in front of Jeff Bezos' house. Same thing with women. You go into a break area, I'm telling you right now, if I still worked at WAAF and I was in the break room and a woman walked in, bro, I would run out. I'd say, hey, sorry. I hopefully she doesn't go on. I'd turn her ass on. I'd stop recording. I'd be nervous as hell. I wouldn't want to be, oh my God, I can't be in this room. Boom. Immediately, I would start recording. That's how crazy of a world we live in. I'm labeled racist because I'm white. I'm labeled a colonizer. That's what they're saying. You're a colonizer. I'm not a colonizer. I'm it's the second person born in this country from my family. Second. I was nowhere near here. My family was in Italy, and the other side of my family was getting dusted by the colonists. So sick of it. It's starting to make me really pissed off. That's all we talk about now. Everything. Cancel this. Cancel that. Terry Crews can't say, we just want to be equal. We don't want to be better. Let's burn him. You guys are out in front of Jeff Bezos' house right now dude, protesters in D.C. out in front of this guy's house, they put a guillotine out in front of his house. Why? Because he's white. Why? Because he couldn't possibly had worked his ass off to get what he wanted, which is what he did. But he's white and he's rich, so he must be racist. He must be a scumbag. He must be a loser because he's white and he's rich. Dude came from nothing. Came from zero. He was a bum. Worked his way up. Became the richest man in the world. Anyone can do it. You can all do it. If anything, you should put a bunch of guillotines out in front of your own houses. No, not a racist comment, bro. So don't take it there. What I'm trying to say is, you lazy ass, you might as well cut your head off if you're a lazy ass. Because that's what's going to happen to you. You're going to die anyways. And you're going to die poor because you're lazy. Not because of anything else. Period. Because you're lazy. Laziness kills all of you people. Idle hands will kill you all before a rich man does. How dare you think that you can put a guillotine in front of this man's house? He employs more people than you will ever. He has more jobs for people than you will ever create. He provides for more people than you can ever imagine. And he's made our way of life easier. But, hey, he's white and he's rich, so he's got to be a racist. He hates poor people. He's got to hate poor people. He's white and rich. No possible way he could have never. Bro, I can't wait. I have to be rich. My God, my goal in life is to be rich. I want to be rich so that when someone calls me a racist for being rich, I'm going to say, bud, I used to eat peanut butter sandwiches with no bread. You know how to eat a peanut butter sandwich with no bread? Because I do. I used to have peanut butter, no jelly. Jelly, no peanut butter. Peanut butter, jelly, no damn bread. I used to eat ramen noodles for nights. Skip meals, no food, poor. Lived in the projects for a while. I can't wait to be rich. I'm telling you. When I do, I'm gonna have a big fat shirt that says, I'm rich, bitch, and I'm not racist. I work my ass off, and I'm white, and I'm proud. Oh, God, I just said I was white, and I'm proud. My God. Oh, my God. Let me apologize for saying that I am white and proud of it. My Lord. I apologize. I am so sorry. But I'm just kidding. I'm American. I love this country. I had nothing to do with racism. I am not a racist. I'm sick of Jeff Bezos type people being accused of being racist because they work hard and make money. I'm sick of Terry Crews, who is an African American, being accused of being racist because he's saying he just wants to be equal. I'm sick of people tarnishing our statues of great men that fought for us. Man. All I want to do is get the mice out of my fucking house. Whew. That's great. You know what's funny about that little rant? Because right now we only have about 1,000. We have a little bit over 1,000 subscribers to the podcast, plus you guys that join me. Years down the road, when I make it and I'm doing well and my podcast is killing it and I am the rich guy, they'll bring that back up. And they'll try to use that against me. And I'm telling you, I'll never back down from it. I'll never. I had nothing to do with it. My family had nothing to do with it. Anything. Not a racist person in my family. The way I feel right now is that 40-plus-year-old white men are the most hated people in the United States and the most hated people throughout the country. Women hate us. African Americans hate us. Asian Americans hate us. Latinos hate us. Everyone, they look at us with disdain. They think we're bad people. They think we're scumbags. We're not. I'm a good guy. Like I said, I'm the second person in my family born here in this country. My brother Stan was the first. We weren't here. I have nothing to do with it. Stop looking. You know what, bro? Stop profiling me. How about that? I don't want to be profiled. I don't want to be profiled as a racist, just like you don't want to be profiled. No one wants to be. Don't profile me, bro. How about that? Don't profile me. I'm a good dude. I work hard. I'm trying to work for everything I got. And when I work hard, I don't want to be overlooked because the United States of America is feeling sorry for some shit that happened 200 years ago that my family had nothing to do with. Nothing. I had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry that it happened, but I didn't have a hand in it at all. So I don't want to be overlooked. I don't want to be called a racist. I don't want my program canceled. I don't want to be walking down the street or at a protest and have a bunch of girls look at me and call me a racist because I'm trying to cover a protest. Look at this little girl right here. We should just talk about my beautiful daughter. Look at her. She knows nothing about what we're talking about. She has no clue that in 10, maybe 20 years from now, she has no clue that she'll be walking down the street, and just because she's white, someone's going to call her a racist. And she's the sweetest thing on the planet. She's going to be a hard worker just like her dad. I'm going to teach her that she needs to work for everything. I'm going to teach her that you don't take something that you didn't earn. Don't ever take a job that they gave you because you're a woman. Never. Take a job that you earned, not because they gave it to you because of your sex. If the other guy's better than you, shake his hand and move on your way and work harder to become better than him next time. That's how I'm going to raise her. But how do I raise my daughter to be aware of the fact that no matter what, people are going to think she's a racist? That no matter what, African Americans or people of a different color are going to hate her because they're going to think that her family owns slaves, or they're going to think that she's a bad person just because she's white, or they're going to hate her because she's rich, because her dad worked his ass off, went the American dream way, and then died and then passed the money on to her. How do I raise that? How do I teach her that? How do I explain that to her? How do I teach her the subtleties of how white people don't get upset about being called a racist? How do I do that? How do I say, well, hun, that's just something we accept here in the United States. So, really, a lot of bad things happened. Slavery was awful. And so here in the United States, white people have to accept that someone calls them a racist when they're not. You just have to, because if you say you're not, they'll be like, oh, see, he's a racist. He's saying he's not. And then they'll go and they'll try to find everything about you and anything you ever did. Anything. Bro, I don't care. You had Aunt Jemima syrup when you were a kid? Racist! Oh! How do we deal with that? I'd like to move on. I want to be equal. You guys know how I feel. I don't see color. I don't see Native Americans, Italian Americans, Irish Americans, African Americans, Asian Americans. I don't. I just see Americans. We're all Americans. I'll say it again. One people, one nation, united and equal. That's all I see. But the truth of the matter is, that's not what other people see. Other people see me and they see a racist, and I'm not. Just because I'm white. I'm just a white, working class schlub who's trying to work his butt off so that I can be rich, so that I can be Jeff Bezos. I don't know if I'll ever get that rich, but I'd like a little chunk of that pie. And when I get a chunk of that pie, I don't want to feel bad about it. I want to be able to do what I want. I want to spend my money where I want without being accused of being a racist, because I'm not. And I don't want to see other people being accused of shit that they're not. This stuff has to stop. If we want to be equal, then let's be equal. Let's treat each other with kindness, and let's be equal. Don't label me a racist, and whatever. I won't get pissed. That's it. That's why I'm upset. I think that African Americans have a damn tough life. I think it would suck to be scared of the police. It'd be terrible. I'd hate to be scared of the police. Police. I really would. It sucks. I feel terrible. It shouldn't happen. See? The fuck. All right, what time is it? We covered Bezos, right? So I was just going on a rant there. I just think it's so unfortunate that hard work in this country is frowned upon now. You guys know I love hard work. I'm all about hard work. I respect the grind. I respect hard work 150%. When I see somebody working hard, it makes me want to work harder. Makes me want to shake their hand. Makes me want to be their friend. I want to do business with people that work hard, not lazy asses. I can't stand people that sit on their ass. I hate it. It drives me nuts. More likely than not, you're a time suck. This dude Bezos worked his butt off to become the richest guy in the world. Absolutely burns me that people are out in front of his house with a weapon that basically telling him to kill himself and that he needs to care more about the poor. This dude provided more jobs. He just opened up a place, or they're opening up a place here in Revere that's going to create like 2,000 jobs. Guy's not a scumbag. The guy's making a living for people. He's helping people. He's making the world better. So what? At the same time, he's getting rich. He worked for it. He worked damn hard for it. You know what? You should have created Amazon. How about that? Maybe you should have did something like that. Or maybe instead of bitching, you should, and by you I mean everybody. I'm talking to lazy people. Are you the lazy person? Maybe you should do something. I do stuff. I got Take Junk. I got my real estate investment company. Now I have my podcast. I'm a doer. I do things. I don't sit back. I get stuff done. I got Box Spring Wood coming up as my next thing. I'm doing. So stop complaining and start doing, and then maybe one of the things that you're doing will get you rich. And then when you're rich, if you want to give your billions away to the poor, go ahead. But I tell you what, you won't. I guarantee. I would bet my riches against your riches that you won't give all your money to the poor. I guarantee it. You might start a foundation, raise money with that foundation, throw a couple of, maybe 5% of your income at it, maybe a little bit less. I can't wait for that. Call you people right out. You so-called, the poor, you need to give your money to the poor. I would love to see one of these poor people become rich and dump all their cash, give it all back, and give it to a poor person. Never happen. Never, ever. You know what? You know what's more likely to happen? You know what? It's not likely. But I was going to say, you know what's more likely to happen is that the people who vandalize statues, that they'll stop burning money, right? So let's say you have a Lincoln, you vandalize the Lincoln. Bro, I don't want to see you spending a $5 bill ever again. You vandalize Washington, you better not spend any dollar bills anymore. You go after Ben Franklin, bro, give me the hundreds. Bye. See you later. If you could desecrate the statue, then you must be so offended that you can't use the loot with their face on it. So don't use it. Put it away. Oh wait. You kind of care about the movement, right? You kind of are upset about it. You're upset enough to take a can of spray paint and spray something, but not upset enough to not use the money that their faces are on. I guarantee you use the loot. Guarantee it. 100%. You need it. You have to use it. You got to buy goods and services with it. You don't care enough to not use the money. I bet. Two things in life, man. I know this shit. I know it's true as shit. You're poor and you become rich, you ain't giving anybody your loot. You worked hard. No one's getting a dime. I'm going to Scrooge McDuck my money. I'm going to jump in it. I'm going to swim in it. I'm going to bathe in it. And people are going to want it. I'll burn it. I'll take that stuff I've already set up, dude. I'll take it out to Park Plaza. I'll set that shit on fire and just sit back and be like, yep, I worked for that. I earned it. And now I'm burning it. Except we all know I'm ranting. I don't talk about my charitable things, but I do shit for charity. So bounce. Act like I don't. I care about people. I just get pissed off. I hate when people take advantage of other people and when they use situations to try to like, you trying to oppress me. It ain't happening. Ain't happening. I will not be oppressed. I don't care. You can say what you want. I'm so mad about it. I did nothing. I'm a good dude, and if you come after me, I'm coming after you. Full force. I don't care. I'm not talking violence, dude. I'm talking, I'll go to court, I will litigate, and I will win because I had nothing to do with it. Period. Nothing. Man, really on a rant. What else we got? We covered time. I guess we could talk about baseball real quick. I hate baseball. I really do. Baseball just is one of the worst sports. It's boring. Baseball is a major time suck. But briefly, why don't we just talk about Major League Baseball? Players are starting to decide that they're not going to play in the 60 games. The baseball's going to have a 60-game season. Players aren't going to play. Honestly, I think it's garbage. I think they're selfish brats. That's really all I can say about it. I think they're selfish brats. You have an opportunity to make a lot of money, and you're gonna go home and you're not gonna play. Some of us don't have that option. I had to work the entire pandemic. I had to. I didn't have a choice. I would have lost my business. I might still. I talk about it right here. I may still lose my business. I'm working my nuts off to try to save this company. I'm working end to end trying to save this company, all the meanwhile trying to build this podcast at the same time while trying to save my company during a pandemic. And you got these spoiled bitches that all you got to do is throw a baseball and you're like, oh, I don't want to play. I don't want to go out there and make a couple $1 million. You should get forced to play. I don't want to force anybody to do anything, but it burns me when I see, you know what? It's wasted talent that burns me. I think that's my problem with it. It's not the money. It's wasted talent. There's nothing worse that I hate than someone that has a lot of talent, very talented, but doesn't want to work hard. Trust me when I say this, that hard work will beat talent when talent refuses to work hard. When you have someone that is so talented that think they can get by on talent alone, they will get torched by someone eventually that works hard. It will happen. It burns me when someone has talent and they don't want to work. It upsets me to no end. Cause I wish I had that kind of talent. I was all hot. That's it. That's all I am. I'm all hot. When it came to football and wrestling and track, I was all hot. I was never going to be the fastest guy at the 100-meter. So I worked better on coming out of the blocks so that I could pick up like a millisecond. I wanted to be the best. When I was in the 4x1 relay, I was never going to be the fastest leg. So I worked on my handoff so that I could have the best handoff so that we could at least pick up a half a second so I could be good. All hot. Wrestling, same thing. All hot. Was never going to be the best wrestler ever. But I'd always try to at least not get like, it just didn't, honestly, I would do, at least try to, like in wrestling, you could give up 4 points, 5 points, or 6 points. If you give up, you could lose 3 points, 4 points, 5 points, or 6. 3 points means you just lost. It was a close match. That's the least amount you could give up. Okay? If you were going to lose, you want to give up 3. The next one is a major decision. You give up 14 points. The next one is a technical, you get your ass kicked. It's technical, I don't know what you call it, but you gave up 5, and if you got pinned, you gave up 6. At the least, I had heart to try to only give up 3 points. I knew so many matches that I wasn't going to win. In my head, I thought I was going to win, but I'm just not a superior athlete. So at the very least, I was only giving up 3 points to at least minimize my team's chances of winning, or to excel my team's chances of winning. Hot. Same thing, man. I played football every single snap like it was the last snap, bro. I would come with you every single play. I'd hit you as hard as I could. I don't care. Every play was the last play to me. Every sprint. Even in practice, I was like that. People hated it. They're like, why is this guy so intense? Because I was all hot. All hot. And that's what I think gets me with the Major League Baseball players. They're not. They're not all hot. You should be out there playing. You have a small window of time to make this loot. You're not going to get the coronavirus, guy. It's Major League Baseball. They're going to do everything they can to make sure that you're safe. They're going to wash the balls every single time you throw them. Some dude's going to run out with a wipey. He's going to spray it down and make sure there's no coronavirus on it. You're going to be fine. You're just being a whiny brat, and you don't want to play 60 games and get half the salary you were going to get. So instead, you're going to take your ball, and you're going to go home, and you're going to bitch and moan, and you'll come back to play next year. It's garbage. I'd love to be able to have that kind of talent to make that kind of money. Bro, you know what? I don't even get paid, and I show up to do my podcast. And you know how many times I don't want to do it? Listen, I haven't wanted to do the podcast for like 5 podcasts in a row. When I went camping, I didn't want to do it. When I got home from camping, I didn't want to do it. And the last 3 nights, didn't want to do my podcast. Didn't want to do it. But I know I got to do it because I got to grind through this. I don't know what turn at the end of the tunnel is going to lead to light because that ain't known for me. But if I don't keep going, if I don't keep digging, I'm never going to get to the end of the tunnel to see the light, to see my podcast be successful. So, boom, here I am all the time, working, grinding, hot. Kids got hot. That's what my football coach said. Boom. Anthony Pazziali is an overachiever. Kids got hot. All right. That's going to do it for tonight's podcast. For those of you that are listening to the podcast for the first time, or maybe you listen but haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my podcast. AnthonyPazziali.com, or go to whatever podcast platform you like. Look up Spazzing Out, SPAZ''NOUT, and subscribe to my podcast. TikTok people, just go to my profile, AnthonyPazziali.com, click on that, click one of the links, subscribe. My Facebook friends, do the same thing. Please, if you have not, even if you just like listening to me on my live stream, go and subscribe to the podcast. I would really much appreciate that. Thank you so much. And follow me on my social medias, guys. I appreciate it. TikTok, glad you guys are back. I've been bounced for a little while, so thank you for coming back. Let me end the podcast, and I'll say goodbye to the live stream people. All right, podcast peeps, we'll be back on for tomorrow. Thanks for listening. TikTok peepies, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. If you don't follow me on TikTok, please follow me. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights at 6:30, Spazzing Out live on TikTok for you guys and my Facebook family. But I'm going to say bye to them next. All right, guys. Have a good night. Okay. Facebook peeps. My Facebook family, guys, thank you. You're always here. You're always supporting me. I appreciate that you guys deal with my crap and my spilt milk. Love you guys very much. Everybody have a good night. I got to go upstairs and I got to go take care of some stuff for my lovely wife. I got to go love and hug and treat her with some respect. She needs it. She deserves it. All right, guys. Night.